Hey there, thanks for tuning in. So this is the May 2025 edition where we prep for the equivalent of £1 per day, where we do a £30 shop. Like I say, the £30 is the equivalent £1 spread over the month, and then what we get is what you see in front of us. So this all cost us to the equivalent of £1 per day to show what you can do if you are a brand new prepper, or if you're an experienced prepper and you're getting a little bit of brain fog or you don't know what to do, So yeah, this is what we do. So like I say, this little lot that you see in front, this cost us less than £30. Like I say, it's less than the equivalent of £1 per day. So in one of our shopping videos a few videos back, one of the comments was, could we do a vegetarian shop? Now, I'm not vegetarian. I love eating meat. It is what it is. But, we thought we'll try and accommodate for all audiences. So, while I love eating meat, I also do actually enjoy vegetarian meals as well. So, we decided to do a shop that was based solely around food items that vegetarians could stockpile, and then obviously they could consume in line with their dietary needs. Now, spoiler alert, because I'm not vegetarian, I did make a mistake. There's one item that isn't vegetarian, and there's one item that's debatable. But, like I say, I'm not vegetarian, so I apologise. It wasn't done on purpose. It was purely accidental. So, in this video, we done our shop wholly at Tesco, a supermarket in the UK. So let's show you what items we've got. I'm going to work from this side over to this side and back towards the front, as I usually kind of do. So the first item we've got, it's instant mashed potato. Now I did try my very best to check all of the labels to make sure it had this vegetarian symbol on the front. So this is instant mashed potato. It claims there is 4 servings in here. You literally just add boiling water and it gives you mashed potato. So it has 2 times 80 gram pouches inside, giving 160 grams in total, and that was £1 per box. Next item we have, there's 2 of these. This is oat milk, or oat juice as I call it, because it's not milk. I mean, well, they don't claim it's oat milk, they call it oat drink, but it's the juice of oats. So, yeah, anyway, these were £1.45 each. We got 2 of those. Now, before I go on to these back row, I want to just quickly do this one. Baked beans, 4-pack. These are the reduced sugar and salt. £1.60 for a 4-pack. Tinned potatoes, we've got 2 tins of these. They were 39p for 2 tins. We've got a tin of chickpea and apricot tagine. This is quite expensive for what you get. This was £2 for 1 tin. I imagine you would boil up a load of rice and then just add this on the top. So, talking of rice, we got a few pouches here. Now, for these, I thought they were quite good, like, as a MRE type replacement. Although, obviously, you can eat them cold. Obviously, heat them up and they'll be a lot nicer. And for what they were, I didn't think they were that bad priced. So this is a 3-bean and lentil chili. Ready in 2 minutes. Now, the 2 minutes is in the microwave, but obviously if you're using it as like a MRE or whatever, or for preps, then you can also cook it in a saucepan on a hob. Empty contents into a pan and heat thoroughly on a low heat. Now, this was £1.75. Again, you would have this with a load of rice. This one, now, again, I really loved the idea of this until I read into it further. So it is poi lentil bolognese. Again, £1.75. You'd make it with some spaghetti and add this on the top. I thought, oh, great, yeah. And then it's full of mushrooms, and I don't like mushrooms. So, yeah. Now this one, it is spicy Mexican rice. This was £1.10 for the pouch. And again, you're meant to tear the top, put it in a microwave and cook it in a microwave. However, it has got an option where you can stir fry it. So you obviously put it in a wok, add a little bit of water and stir fry it for 3 minutes till it's hot. Same with the Caribbean rice and peas rice. Perfect with jerk chicken if you happen to have some jerk chicken in your preps. £1.10 per pouch. I don't know if I said how big these pouches were. Does it tell us? It doesn't say how big the pouch is, but it says there's 2 servings per pouch, and it says the serving size is 125 grams. So I'll assume they're 250 gram pouches. These ones are 280 gram pouches. And the last of the pouches, this is peri peri rice. Perfect with chicken and halloumi. Again, if you happen to have some of that in your stores. And again, like I say, microwave it, or if you're in a grid down situation, you can add it to a pan with a splash of water and stir fry it. £1.10 per pouch, so that's those out of the way. Trying to see over the top, I'm only little. Next item. Now these were quite expensive for what they are, but actually I thought the reason we bought these was because they came in the jar. You can reuse the jar afterwards. So we got 2 jars of peas and carrots in water. Now they've got quite a good date on them. They are till June 2028, so that's July 2028, sorry, my apologies. But that's 3 years, you know. And then, like I say, when you use them, you can reuse the glass jars for whatever. You can just fill it with water, so you've got a water container. You can put some oil in it and put a wick out, so you've got a makeshift candle. You can use it to preserve more food, you know, if you put the food in the jar, and you can water boil it or whatever. But yeah, anyway, so these were $1.30 per jar, which, like I say, for a small portion of peas and carrots was quite expensive, but we thought the jars themselves would come in handy as well. Now the next item, this was the debatable one. So this is hot honey, sweet and spicy. It's essentially honey that is infused with chili. So Laura thought this wouldn't be classed as vegetarian, and I said it would be classed as vegetarian because it's an animal product, not like a byproduct rather than an animal, you know. So it's the same as like vegetarians can have milk and they can have eggs, but they couldn't eat the cow or eat the chicken. Obviously this is produced by bees, so that was my thought. This was £1.75 for a 250 gram jar of honey infused with chili. Honey obviously lasts literally forever. They found honey in the pyramids that was thousands of years old, and when they done tests on it, it was classed as safe to eat. Next items I've got to stand up because I'm only little. We got 2 Tesco equivalent to pot noodles. These were spicy curry flavour noodles. 54p times 2. They're not the best, but you know, it's food. Next item is some vegetarian stock cubes. 10 stock cubes, £1. Now, I don't know if it's just me. I thought that was quite expensive. I don't know. I seem to remember these being around about half that sort of price. I don't know if it's just food inflation or if it's they're taking my bloody eyes out or what, but yeah, anyway, 10 vegetable stock cubes for £1. Next, noodles. We've got 2 packs of the noodles. So, medium egg noodles, boiling water, put in whatever you're having. The noodles, you know. Suitable for vegetarians on the back. Yeah, so this is obviously what I was saying. Suitable for vegetarians, the egg noodles. So the honey, I think, is suitable for vegetarians. So we've got in here some spaghetti. So we got this, obviously, to go with the bolognese and the chili. Before I realised the bolognese was full of mushrooms and I don't like them. Obviously, if I was starving, I would eat them, but... Oh, I don't know if I told you how much the noodles were. They were 95p each. So the noodles, 2 packets, 95p each. And yeah, the spaghetti, it's just the cheap stuff. It was 28p for this pack. We've got cartons of chickpeas in salted water. We've got 2 of those. So they were from the ethnic food aisle rather than the tinned food aisle. They were a little bit cheaper than what the tins were. I mean, there's not quite as many in here as there was in the tins. But like I say, we were on our budget and we didn't want to go over the budget. These are until April 2027 as well. So they've still got a reasonable date, you know. They've got just short of 2 years. So yeah, 2 of those. They were 55p each. Next, we've got 3 tins. Obviously, I can't pick all 3 up with one hand. 3 tins of sweet corn in water. Just small tins. 200 gram net weight. 160 gram drained weight. 49p per tin. I say 1, 2, 3. And then the next we got was some pizza base mix. Just add water. So again, these were for a flour-based item. The shelf life wasn't that bad. It's January 2026, so it's just over half a year. But like I say, it's a flour-based item that it's shelf stable. And obviously this is a best before. It's not a use by, so you can still use it afterwards. Just obviously it might not be as good. So it says, prepared to a vegan recipe, not suitable for milk, egg or soya allergy sufferers as the allergens are present in the environment they were packed, but it says they are actually suitable for vegans as well, if you're vegan rather than vegetarian. So I know what you're thinking. You normally get your pizza, it's smothered with cheese. Oh, didn't tell you the price, 95p each per bag. Yeah, you've got your pizza, it's normally smothered with cheese, smothered with whatever, you know, if you're a meat eater, you've got your meat feast, your pepperoni, salami, ham, the debatable one, pineapple. I like it, other people don't. My daughter hates it. But you don't just have to have stuff like that on a pizza. You can have, believe it or not, a cheese-free pizza. You can just get your pizza base, put your puree on the top, and then put whatever veg you've got. And then, like I say, if you've got a pizza oven or whatever, you can put it in that wood-fired pizza oven. We've got one in our garden. It's just a small one. It's not like this one of the big, huge built-in ones. We bought it from Argos maybe about 5 years ago. And even then, it was about 80 quid, so I don't know how much it'll cost now. But you light a fire inside of it, you obviously get it nice and hot, and then the pizzas cook within literally about 30 seconds. You know, you've got amazing pizza. But yeah, so we got that because that would give us another off-grid cooking food option where whatever topping we had to go on the pizza, we could just make the pizza bases up, light a fire in the pizza oven, and then obviously have the pizza. So we are on to our last item, and this is where I buggered it up. Laura tried to tell us it was not vegetarian. And I was like, yeah, of course it is. I'm right, you're wrong. And it turns out she was right. So, grated Italian hard cheese. Once upon a time known as Parmesan cheese until the EU brought in their rules where you can only call something that if it's from that region. Do you know, like champagne can only be called champagne from the Champagne region. That's why Prosecco is so popular now. Newcastle Brown Ale as well. Obviously, it's made in the Newcastle area, so it can be called that. Things like that, you know. So, Tesco equivalent of Parmesan cheese, £1.70 for a 50-gram tub. What makes this not suitable for vegetarians is it has got rennet in it, or I don't know if that's the pronunciation. Rennet, Rennet, Rennet. From what I believe, it's took from the lining of the stomach of calves. It makes the cheese curdle, which then gives you the hard cheese. So that makes this not suitable for vegetarians. So this was my screw up. I got this wrong. Laura was right. I should have listened to her. Although don't tell her that. Anyway, like I say, that was £1.70. And that was our last item. So, I've got the receipt here. Obviously, some of these were on the special buys. The club card prices, they call them. It's where they artificially inflate the prices and then drop it down and tell you it's on sale. But, yeah, anyway. Without the club card price special offers, it would have cost us £32.11, but there was savings, there was multi-buy savings, there was a club card price savings. In total, the savings saved us £2.25, which gave us a grand total spend for all of these items of £29.86. Now, if you're interested in seeing more of these £30 shop videos, I'll put the full playlist just up here. And if you want to watch something where I've made a little bit more of a meaty dish, I'll put that video just down here. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.